What about, I think when you talk about paint protection, you hear a lot of people talking about permanent paint protection.
Permanent paint protection, yeah. Well, paint protection's designed to adhere to the surface permanently, but the actual coating itself doesn't provide permanent protection. And what I mean by permanent is it's not going to provide those characteristics forever. It will wear itself down, and eventually those characteristics, those protective characteristics, are gone. So I think what they mean when they say permanent is that the bond between the coating and your surface, whatever that may be, whether it's paint, glass or chrome, is permanent. They may be not correcting customers when the customers assume that it's there forever, and that's a bit cheeky, but yeah, a permanent. Our full metal jacket paint protection is a permanent coating in the sense that it bonds and it's there as a permanent coating. It's not something you remove. You don't remove it with a wash, but it slowly wears down like any coating, like house paint. House paint's a permanent coating. You paint it, it's permanently there, but it wears and it needs to be replaced as it wears.
How long should paint protection last? So if I put...
It should last forever, yeah. but it doesn't. It doesn't because let's face it, when the technology's not there yet. You usually see about 2 years of good performance out of a good quality paint protection that's been applied properly. So full metal jacket paint protection, you'll see 2 years of performance at a minimum, provided we apply it properly, which we do, and provided you maintain it correctly as well.
What's special about full metal jacket paint protection? You hear about these like ceramic coatings and what's another one they talk about, like glass-like
or hardness,
silicon.
Silicon oxide.
Silicon oxide.
So there's different raw ingredients to make up a paint protection product, and it will be a different paint protection product. It'll be either a polymer base or it'll be a silicon oxide base or a glass base, and depending on the application, we would choose a specific type of product. And we've created full metal jacket with a polymer base because we think it's the correct type of paint protection for the application, which is automotive. So panels that flex, panels that are subject to vibrations, our product will remain flexible, and that means that it will have more durability. If you have some products which are designed for other industries and other applications, and they're adapted to the automotive market, they may not be the best product for the automotive application. They may be brittle. A lot of them are very, very hard, so they have a good hardness, but they're unfortunately not flexible, so they just don't last very long. They're designed to last a long time on concrete, on a different substrate, but when it's applied to a glossy surface, it can't adhere properly, or that hardness that you have, and whatever that big selling point isn't there in a few months' time because it's not designed to hold on to whatever that substrate is, the paint or the glass on the automotive surface. So it's important that it's designed with that particular application in mind and not just adapted from the solar industry or from an industry where they're using it on masonry substrates. It's important that it's a product designed for automotive use.
What about the application process of full metal jacket paint protection? I've done it twice now and found it surprisingly easy to apply after the preparation was done properly. But it was probably the most, the thing that was most nerve-wracking was putting the paint protection on, because that's it's the most expensive. The
expensive step.
Little bottle of stuff that
and you're sealing in all your hard work.
Yeah.
So you don't want to muck it up at the last stage. Yeah.
You apply full metal jacket paint protection by hand. Yeah. At least according to the instructions.
We should link a video. We should link the video with this video. We should link to another video that shows the application of full metal jacket, which is easy.
So click like there.
Yeah, so click here or there or wherever we decide to put it.
It's down there.
Yeah, click down here somewhere. We'll link the application instructions so you can see how easy it is to apply. It's super easy. It wasn't always easy. It was a professional product that was difficult to apply. Just because it's a professional product doesn't mean it should be difficult to apply. It's just, it was a product that was the first of its type. So I think we had the first, I could be wrong, but I think we had the first paint protection that would be applied to every single external material on a car and adhere to it properly for at least a couple of years. That was back in 2006. And it was a professional only product because it was extremely unforgiving to apply. But now we've tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it. It's in its 4th iteration and it can be applied by anyone. Not everyone will attempt to apply it, and even though you've watched the application instructions, you might still think to yourself, I'm not going to attempt that. But it's actually easy to apply. It's all the prep the prep's the hard work, not the actual application of the coating itself.
I found it surprisingly easy, but then some friends have got paint protection applied to their car and they've had it sprayed on the car because from what they've been told, that applies a thicker coating, offering better protection. And is that a better way to apply the product?
It could be. We'd have to have a look at that particular product, the makeup of that particular product and how it works. Our product wouldn't work that way. So there's only a certain amount of film build that you'll transfer to the surface. You could apply it as thick as you like, but you're just going to be removing more excess. And our product leaves behind a 1 micron thick film, which is, as far as we can tell, is the thickest film build of any of the products available in the industry, any similar product.
I think, Karl hit the nail on the spot, why your paint protection is applied, via an applicator pad and others are applied via a spray or aerosol of some sort. I think there's one thing that rung out really big in my head, especially, is that, it rung out, it rung quite loudly in my head, was that you were talking that a spray applicator, it can carry over a long distance.
Yeah, you can get some overspray.
Yeah.
So depending on the product again, but our product now, never used to, but now it's an air cure. So as soon as you have it on the applicator and then you've transferred it to the surface, it's immediately dried, so that you've transferred those polymers to the vehicle surface, and you have to remove the excess. If you don't remove the excess, you'll have all of it harden on the surface. It won't adhere properly because it's not meant to be applied that thick, and you'll have really just an ugly application. You'll actually see the strokes from the applicator, which is the reason why you buff the excess off to leave a really thin film behind and you get those beautiful cosmetic characteristics. If you're spraying it, there's a chance that you'll have it being applied to other panels. Now, if you're spraying the whole car and applying it to the whole car, then removing the whole car, that's fine. But with our product, you wouldn't be able to do that because it's an instant cure, so you have to apply it to a panel at a time, or even usually if you've got large panels, you have to apply it to small sections of the panel at a time.
And it's a wasteful of products, isn't it? Because you're using more products.
For our product, it'd be a huge waste. Yeah, you'd be using much more than necessary.
Yeah, definitely.